I'm feeling nutty today.
You make a plan to do a bunch of different projects and pretty much only one gets done because it took way longer than you thought it would.
We're Shawn and Ash. For the past 2 years, we've been turning this school bus into our very first home. One of the most intimidating things about living on the road is having power at all times. That's why this week, Shawn is setting up a
battery isolator
that allows us to have 24/7 off-grid power. Join us as we begin our journey full-time traveling around the Americas. We are 5 weeks out. Kind of makes me a little anxious.
Getting ready to build our little pantry in here. It's gonna be a pull-out pantry. Put these wheels that I'm gonna put on the bottom of our frame. It's 10 3/4, but it gets a little smaller down here just because it's, you know, not perfectly straight. Surprise, surprise.
Measuring out for the essentials so that we can fit about 9 rolls of toilet paper in here. We have a bigger shelf on the bottom just to make sure that we have room to store some like cleaning supplies. We wanted some room for a couple paper towels and plenty of TP. Putting this top shelf on, and what's pretty cool about this guy, while this is the top of the pantry itself, we're actually gonna be able to store stuff on top of this. So this is like the top shelf.
Hold that right there. Sure, you got it. Come on.
Pretty proud of you. It's very nicely built.
I came up with a pretty cool design, I guess. I don't know. It's different than the one I saw online. What I did was sitting it on top of a piece of 1/2 inch, so there's enough room for me to fit a piece of 1/2 inch as the side of the shelf on there, and it wouldn't make it any thicker. I don't know if I wasted my time doing that, but
no, I think it's gonna look really nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Don't want to get copyrighted, babe.
I've never heard that song.
I can't believe that. You've lived in Florida for how long now? Wow. Wowza.
Wowzers.
It looks good.
I think so too.
What do you think, Dad?
No comment.
No comment. My tea. I didn't even think about my tea storage.
Oh no.
It looks really good. Do you want to see it in the bus really quick? Ooh, I've like dreamed about this for so long. How's it fit?
California dreaming.
Wow.
And then obviously there'll be wheels.
Obviously it'll be on wheels. Go ahead, pull it open. Wow.
We wanted to put a solid back
on
this side, but
you just picked your nose.
Sorry. When we're pooping, yes, pooping, and we run into an emergency, we're on the bowl without a roll, we got our TP right here. I just want to be able to reach over and grab it, right? I don't want to have to open the door, clench in the cheeks, grabbing a roll.
Too much. It's awesome. So is it going to be on like a track at all?
I might make a little track.
We still have room up top, but it would have been too hard to like kind of design it to that shape. Super happy with how that came out.
Me too.
Good job.
Thanks, babe.
Shawn has finished up.
What?
I'm not talking to you. Oh. Our awesome pantry.
Pretty sweet.
Hey, come here.
Oh no. Oh, he doesn't bite. Doesn't have any teeth.
Look, I'm scared.
Hey.
Good boy.
He likes bloobs.
had quite the morning. I would say one of our most asked questions throughout the entire process of building the bus is, how did you get registered? We went and waited at the DMV for 2 hours this morning, only for them to tell us that they have to call the state of Florida to convert it for us. They weren't able to do it at our local office. Whenever we do get the bus registered, we want to share a little bit more of the process. Shawn has been spending the majority of today trying to hook up our battery isolator, and I have been really tired and lazy. I fell asleep on the couch. We are 5 weeks out from moving into this thing, and every time that I go into the bus kind of makes me a little anxious thinking about moving all of our stuff. It feels like we're not ready, but we have to make it happen.
Hey, I'm under the bus, setting up our battery isolator. Quick little story. We had a wheelchair lift on here, and there was a wire that ran all the way from the connection for the alternator, 1/0 gauge wire. So I just took that wire off, so this is not hot, because the other end of it, on the back end of the bus, was connected to the wheelchair lift. So we're gonna be able to use this wire. It was pre-ran for us, so we got pretty lucky on that. It's like the right gauge and everything. I'm gonna use this wire to connect to our isolator, which is then gonna connect to our bus battery, which on the other end is gonna connect to our solar batteries. Wow, you can see like my nose hairs. That's kind of weird. Getting ready to install. Boom! I was able to run that wire from underneath, and let's see if it fits. Man, I tell you what, nothing easy in the bus building business. Nothing! Ain't nothing ever easy. I'm gonna have to drill out this terminal just a tiny bit so it can fit on there. So we got our 1/0 gauge wire here. I got about 5 feet, and it was about $7 a foot, so about 35 bucks. There's gonna be about 140 amps max going through it. So we'll probably use like a 150 or 200 amp fuse. But right now I'm just gonna put on the 1/0 gauge wire terminals. Measure about right there. The old pre-crimp before I hammer crimp. I'm feeling nutty today. Originally, I was kind of concerned with how I was gonna get the terminal on this block. So I'm just gonna, with the grinder, you wanna come around here? I'm gonna just slice off that edge right there so it sits flush.
Look at my dad.
So this is the positive terminal of the battery. This is where the positive charge comes off. This is 1/0 gauge wire. This will carry about 140 amps max through to our battery isolator. Now, in the battery isolator, there's 2 terminals. There's the coach battery and there's the chassis battery.
What is this?
What this does is it separates our chassis battery from our coach battery.
Coach meaning?
Extra battery bank, auxiliary battery bank. These get charged from our alternator. When these are fully charged, the extra power goes through our battery isolator and charges our auxiliary batteries, or solar batteries. The reason you need this is because it separates the battery bank from this battery bank. So this is done, it'll start to charge that, but when those are done, it won't pull from here.
Because that would be tragic.
That would be tragic. We would be stranded somewhere. This also needs to be grounded, so I'll ground this to the chassis with like a 10 gauge wire, and then this goes to an ignition switch that is only on when the ignition is on. So when we turn the ignition on, this gets powered up and turns this on. Another cool thing about this battery isolation manager, as they call it, it only charges every 15 minutes. Lithium batteries charge at a much higher rate than these. It'll make our alternator work a lot harder than it's normally capable. This little puppy, it charges every 15 or 30 minutes, so it gives it a little break.
We can always have power.
The engine turns on, we have power.
That's awesome.
Right?
Like you know what you're doing right now?
Maria Jose and Chase sent me a nice wire diagram. It's very simple. 12 volt power is super simple. This here is 10 gauge wire. I'm gonna ground this to the chassis. It's gonna keep us grounded, just like my baby keeps me grounded. That's the wire that's run all the way back to the isolator that used to be connected to our wheelchair lift, but now I'm gonna use it to put on our battery terminal. Now I just want to put this protective stuff around it. So, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You put the box in and everything?
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah. So what are these batteries running?
It's running everything inside.
So you're talking it comes down, comes through, and it comes through here?
It goes through the inverter, which inverts it into AC power.
I can't believe you did all
the
that.
outlets. Yeah.
Just watching YouTube?
Just YouTube, yeah.
Oh my God, you've never done anything like this before?
No, nothing like this. So I have awesome news. I was able to make our alternator connection. Boom! Here's where the battery cable comes in. I don't know if you can see it. Touching it, 12 volts. And once you turn the ignition on, hold on. So that annoying beeping will continue because I just turned the key. This is the same terminal that wasn't on before. Boom, we got power. Positive post. This is 1/0 wire, runs to our isolator, which I still have to secure. I'm gonna put it literally right here. This is obviously the ground post, and that goes to the chassis. I'll show you right now. Runs out through the back there, out of the box, put right into the chassis. And then this one was our original cable for our wheelchair lift, which is crazy to me. So you see here our battery monitor, and we're losing 2.28 amps. When I turn the bus on, I'm not sure if it's an immediate thing or it like takes a little time, but let's see. Oh, there it is. It's now pulling from the isolator about 30 amps. Yeah, it's really exciting. Long day. It's funny, I don't know about everybody else, but when you make a plan to do a bunch of different projects and pretty much only one gets done because it took way longer than you thought it would, another typical day. But I'll be honest, the fact that we got the alternator connection in, couldn't be happier.
Like I said, we are about 5 weeks out from our takeoff date. We are really counting down to the finish line here. Hope you guys continue to join us for the next few weeks to see our finishing projects before our takeoff, and then we'll be sharing our very first experiences living in the bus. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can see our new videos every week. See you then.